But nevertheless, we're going to start with our opening remarks and welcome from our Vice President, Mr. John Wynn.
Good afternoon, everyone. I want to thank everyone for coming today. This is a real special time for us. It's been a project going on for a long time. We're finally doing the groundbreaking. All the setbacks, we had COVID and everything else just seemed to go against us. But we finally, with Keith's help, made it there. And like I say, I want to thank you all for being here today for the groundbreaking ceremony of Browns Ferry Water Company's project for the fire protection. And with that, I would like to ask for the invocation by Reverend Justin Gamble.
And now, O God, as we gather on this ground for this groundbreaking ceremony, we pray for the purpose of this particular entity in this community. We pray, O God, that it will serve your people, that it would help us to progress forward and to do amazing and wonderful things as you give us guidance.
Have a seat on the front row, please, sir. Thank Mr. Wynn very much for the opening remarks and welcoming Reverend Justin Gamble for the invocation. And they have me here down. I'll put me here down for a brief history. And it's going to be very brief because it's nice and cool out here, and I don't want y'all to get spoiled in this kind of weather right here. So just a brief history in regards to Browns Ferry Water Company. Back in 1971, this company was founded by Jerome Nicholas Holmes. This company was founded for drinking water purposes. It started where our kids from the community went to Browns Ferry Elementary School, and their principal at that time recognized that the kids' teeth were in bad situation. Had a lot of tooth decay in and just not healthy teeth. So she reached out to some of the community members, Mr. Nicholas himself, and told them, hey, look, I do believe that this is as a result of the water that they were drinking. So at that time, Mr. Nicholas took on an assignment from God, I'd like to say. It's a long story, but I'm gonna cut it short. Took on an assignment from God, went out and started to see how he can get this water company up and running so that we can have safe drinking water for our community members here. Mr. Nicholas, I love this part of the story. When I did my research before I got hired here, he was working as a longshoreman in Charleston. And as a result of him trying to make contacts and find funding to do this company, he ended up quitting his job because he was taking off too many hours from his job. They told him, hey, look, either you're going to let this thing go or we're going to let you go. He quit his job just to see this assignment from God through. And I want to pause just for a moment for us to just give him a hand in remembrance of the effort that he made. And we're going to fast forward to today. When I was first interviewed, and I did not interview for this job, God sent me here as well. And when the board first listened to God and offered me the job, I told them, I said, one of the things that I really want to focus on is to increase our fire protection in our area. As a kid, I can just remember that houses catching on fire, fire trucks coming, doing the best that they can, but however, running out of water because the fire was at that point. They were having to leave the fire, go get more water, come back, and how many know that we didn't save many houses at all? And I told them that was just something that, as a community member, that I was very passionate about. And to stand here today and see that this is coming to fruition is just, I'm just overrejoiced with the effort that everyone's made and the support of my board in us getting to this point right here. So that's a brief history of how we got here at Browns Ferry Water and also why we're here today celebrating this fire hydrant protection project because it's something that's necessary.
And you know, on the western part of Georgetown County, the part of the county which we reside in, there's some expansion going on. And we need to make sure that our county is ready to accept those expansions and being able to handle those particular expansions. Water service and fire protection is something that's very limited in our side of the county because initially when water came to our side of the county, the concentration was basically on providing safe and clean water for our residents. There was no major concern for fire protection. As time went along and as more houses develop along this part of the county, we began to realize that we didn't have sufficient means to expand the fire protection and the fire hydrants throughout the western part of the county. So this is really a grand project and a great project, and it'll make a tremendous difference to our citizens and our residents in our part of the county to make sure that we have better protection for our homes and our facilities. Also, as you may know, when you have fire protection throughout your particular area, there's a strong possibility that your insurance rates may be reduced, because now you have something that the fire protection or the insurance company asks about. Where's the nearest fire station and how are you being protected? So it may help with your insurance rates.
Mr. Michael Hanna from Hanna Engineering out of Florence, South
Keith
Carolina.
and I first met back in 16 or 17 to talk about this project. We got involved in what Browns Ferry was all about, started in the 70s. Mainly, the main focus was to provide potable drinking water to all the residents. And it basically consisted of one 6-inch loop around Browns Ferry. That was not sufficient to provide fire flow, and it wasn't able to allow us to grow and add a lot more customers. So we looked at what's the best way to expand the system, and that was to modify the 6-inch with an 8-inch loop, which would enable us to put fire protection afforded to everybody. We designed the project, we got all the permits, and we were ready to bid, and what came about? COVID. We only got one bidder on the project, and the prices were through the roof because of all the supply chain issues. So we decided to put the project on hold and wait it out, hopefully for prices to come down. That has not happened that much. They've stabilized a little bit, but they're still higher than normal. So what was going to cost $4.8 million now is over $10 million. So we've done the best we can. We've done about 10 miles of work instead of 20 miles. We're ready to lay pipe. We've got our sign right over here that you'll see broadcast throughout the community and placed around. The pipe's on the way, the materials are on the way, so we're anxious to get started. The capital sales tax, when I first heard about this from Keith, that is an excellent way for us to carry this project on and build what we couldn't afford to build in this project. Now, we sought help from the Rural Development Agency, which is part of the U.S. Department of Agriculture. And when we needed $4.8 million, they basically gave us about half of that in a loan and half in grant. So we're fortunate to get half of this money in grant dollars, so we're very grateful for that. And we'd like to apply for more later, but use projects like the capital sales tax to help finish what we start here today.
5, 4, 3, 2,